Okay, it says we're live. We're on StreamYards. We're waiting for everybody to funnel back in and come over from Restream. I'm not sure what happened, but I came back and had a notification saying they shut my stream down. I tried going live again 2 other times after that, and they just said, no, ain't happening, Chief. So we're trying another streaming service. Say hi in the chat so I know that you guys are here. Okay. We're switching over to StreamYards. I put the link to join in the private chat because I don't know what Restream's problem is. They're being a little bitch. She did bring up the pentagram and then everything went to hell. Oh, shit.
Here I am.
We got everybody back.
There we go.
Weird
that works.
That cut off. I was just saying that, Mr. Ultimate Omega.
What's that? See, that's why I hate being on my phone is I'm on this like little sliver. That's why I was trying to do it on my iPad.
Right.
Let me see if I can get on there on my iPad. Hold on a sec. That way you can actually see the whole me.
Were you clapped, Hatter? I don't think I was clapped.
I don't think
like an issue.
I think it was an issue with Restream because I tried going live again multiple times and it's just like, yeah, no, fuck you.
All right. Hey, I'm going to dip out of here and try to get on my iPad, okay?
Okay. All this for your past life reading, Hampson.
Hell yeah.
This better be the best fucking reading of your lifetime, bro.
I feel like my mind's about to be blown. I hope it is. Let me get a little more zooted.
Well, that was just unfair. Yeah, I don't... Maybe it's because it's a free version. They only allow you to record so much. I don't know.
That's probably it. They're bitches with that.
I mean, obviously, everybody's trying to get their money, but I don't have the money to pay out to people like that, so...
Well, there's a million services that do it for free anyways, so, like...
Yeah. It's just so much easier popping... doing, like, StreamYards or something to where you can just pop people in and out. Be right back, everyone. All right, Gary. I thought y'all ended the stream for good. No, I was in another tab, and then I came back, and it said your stream shut down unexpectedly.
Said, fuck your chicken strips.
I don't want to do that. Let's not.
Either that or it pulled a Domier, and not today, Satan.
Yo, why do I have this weird, like, echo with you? Talk again real quick.
Hello?
No, I'm not hearing it. That's weird. Oh,
Testing.
you're good. It's just a
Interesting. No, Miss Hatter's weird. She literally has a pop bottle in the driver's side of her car, and she chews a gum while she's at work. And when she's on her lunch break or whatever, she puts the gum in the pop bottle. And it's got like this much pop left in it.
No.
And it's like up to here with gum. I was like, I'm going to throw this away. And she's like, don't you dare. I'm trying to fill it up.
Oh my god.
It's like, why?
Why?
You're back.
I don't know what the issue is. Like, for some reason, the camera's not working on my iPad.
No.
It's a piece of shit. I need to get a new one. Okay. So, on
Nick's
here...
quiet. Nick's eating.
On here, I should be able to reverse my cam pretty easily. Hold on a second. Okay. There we go. Okay, so not to freak anybody out, and the white magic thing, look, here's the deal. Like, I think we talked about it, like the origins of the old religion and how it all started with the Catholic Church and all that kind of bullshit. We had that conversation before. The reason why, like, practitioners of the old religion use the term, and I'm saying the old religion use the term white magic, is because black magic or dark magic is reserved for practitioners of dark magic, like voodoo. There's all different types, but white magic basically is, we don't perform any type of spell casting, hexing, anything that would do any harm to any person in any manner, shape, or form, or anything that would be against their will. Like no love potions, no nothing, no bullshit like that. Like it's just not
That's
shit
a
we
witch
do.
doctor. That's
We don't
different.
fuck with other people. So like if you had heard things that were the contrary to that,
Dad has that same exact shirt.
I
I don't
think
know
we
what
talked
that is.
before about how
Yes, he
like
does. Not the what the flag
in the 90s there was this whole
Yeah.
wave of like neo wicca where like it became really popular after the movie The Craft, and all of a sudden all these new witches were popping up in all these, you know, occult bookstores, and people just all of a sudden it became a really
Let me tell
popular
you,
thing to
if
be,
my 20 is missing in the morning,
when
I can. There's
like
nothing on the table.
true practitioners of the old magic, like we've been in hiding for years,
Or if
like
I wake up and
it's not out in the open. Our religion is not practiced out in the open. And so there's a very big divide between practitioners of the old religion and this neo Wiccan movement. And so different terms are used in different ways. The way people represent themselves, what they call themselves, it's just, it's almost like two totally different religions.
Jesus.
So please don't get
Have
pulled
you
up
seen
in,
Flavor News?
and we can talk about that
I
like
told her
at
to eat
another
it.
time.
She's
Um,
cereal.
what I
So
have
what is
set up
this?
here
Like,
is
what is
basically
this?
like this has to be a cleansed and safe space
That's
if I'm going to
$120.
perform a past
Isn't
readings,
that like half of your day already?
a past live reading, because it's different than just a regular tarot
Ooh, I got your
reading.
email.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like it has to be like, I'll explain as I go.
I consider so it's interesting you say that because I kind of I think I know what you mean, and I personally find this to be like in the area here. I feel like this is a really good like safe space for lack of better terms for me, and I think that's why my fun guys over here are actually growing. Like, and before I could never get them to grow, and I was in a really bad place and a bad space, and it's like I feel like now with all the positivity and shit, like they're growing like no problem, and I feel like that's because of like the area they're around. You know what I mean? So I get what you're
Oh
saying.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, let's see
normally,
how much
like,
ice cream made.
is that his, is that,
That's a
did he
crap.
leave his mic live? Is that
Yeah,
what all that is? Feedback from his mic?
but it
So,
sounds like he's coming back.
okay. So cool. Like, so basically, when I perform ceremony or any type of, because our Sabbath is actually on Saturdays, so like we would perform ceremony or worship on Saturdays. Basically, perform circle is what we would call it. Or if we're like celebrating holiday, anything like that, you would always perform. You would, the first thing you would ever create is a sacred circle, or you know, basically a safe space, a circle around you where you could practice or do whatever you need to do within that circle. Because, like I told you, the veil between this world and the next is very thin, and so if you're working within that circle, the and you're talking about dimensions, you know, if that's what you want to call it, I call it different things. People call it different things, but you need to have, because you're playing within in that area where, you know, it's so easy for people to cross, or entities to cross from one to the other. You need to create a safe area where they can't get to you,
Right.
right? And you can't reach over through them. And if you, especially like I have one of my best friends is a medium, so usually you like to work with mediums when you're doing past lives, because they can give very detailed, intricate details of what your past lives are. And in order for them to do that, they have to basically, I guess, I don't want to say time travel, but they ask for project.
Right.
But what I can do is give you a very good idea of how many past lives you've had and the type of lives that you've lived. Now, the one thing I can tell you, at least in our belief, is that you can never go backwards from what you were. Because in our belief system is we believe in reincarnation. So we believe that you continue to come back in order to gain knowledge. And as you continue to come back and learn and gain knowledge, you'll continue to do that until you reach a point where, I guess almost like in Eastern philosophy, you they use the word enlightenment, but we basically it's until you've reached the point where you've learned your lessons, you've reached the point where you can, I guess, enlightenment, you can be with our gods, because we have two deities. We have a male and a female deity. Because
Mm-hmm.
like I told you before, everything has to be in balance. And
Right.
so there's a male and a female. The female is more powerful, however. But anyway, so what I have here, like set up in front of me, is kind of like a mini altar that I set up, but it's only for a tarot reading. So, like, of course, the pentagram is our sacred symbol, but people take pentagrams the wrong way. A
Right.
satanic pentagram actually, like, okay, so this is my wooden one, and I pulled it out to show you because people freak out over pentagrams. So, a pentagram for good a good pentagram is actually just a 5-pointed star, right?
Yeah, that's what it said on
People,
the wiki.
yeah, if people freak out about pentagrams, like for Satanism or whatever, it's actually turned this way, so it looks like there's horns, and then it comes down, and so that is
It looks
not
like a goat within something. Yeah.
exactly. There you
That
go.
makes a fuckload of sense. Holy shit, yeah.
Do you understand now the difference? So like this would be like the satanic symbol where you have the double points up here, down here, and there you go. That would be like the satanic. But for us, it's very much just the 5-pointed star. So that's the difference. Very much the difference. Okay. So yeah, the pentagram is our sacred symbol. And um so there you go. Um so generally we have candles at every point um, on the compass, north, west, south, and east, which also represent the 4 elements. So south is, you know, you have fire, earth, water, and air. So and that's also what the candles represent, and that's what sets up kind of your thing. Um, I'm just, oh, sorry, kind of moved my wand. This wand is very old. When you first start out, you're always in the old religion anyway. You create your own wand. It's been blessed with runes, and it's got powerful stones that have been blessed and put on it. I carved it myself. The runes were written on it itself. I've had it a very long time. Where's my lighter? But I'm explaining all this to you just so you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Right.
So you always want to burn a little bit of sage, because sage is a cleansing thing.
Yeah,
And I'm
it
sure
keeps
you
away the
see
bad juju.
exactly. So you always have a little bowl of water as well, because like I said, you always want to represent the elements, and you always have salt. You always sprinkle salt around the circle, and that's a barrier to keep the bad out.
And real quick, chat, can y'all hear me better now? I turned off the automatic input. Did that fix it for you guys? Gotcha, Hatter. I'll turn it up a little more. One sec.
Yeah. Once I start it, I'll set this up so you guys don't have to worry about it anymore. What? So,
Is that better? It should be, right?
okay, so this is frankincense, right? And you always want to put a little bit of frankincense. Put a little bit of spread on the sage. A little bit of lavender and put it in the water. And the reason why I'm going through all these things is because these are all offerings to
Now, my
ancestors.
question, real quick, too, with this is,
Yeah.
Is this like locationally based, or like, am I, by not having any of these preventative measures, opening myself up to the potential of the not great things? What the fuck? Yo, that's weird.
That was either really impeccable timing or that was a sign, dude.
And that was
Machine
so,
elves?
that was weird. No, I keep getting these Instagram things coming through and I'm like, just leave me alone, man. No, you're good
Okay.
because you're good. You're good. What I'm doing
Because it's like going through you.
is I'm channeling through you're channeling I'm channeling you through me. And
Okay.
so yeah. Okay,
Got it.
so frankincense on the sage. Everything I'm doing right now is a protective measure to make this a safe space. And I'm doing more than I normally would, like the lavender in the water, the frankincense in the sage, the different things I'm doing. You'll notice that there's a bell here. That's going to be used in a way as well. And that's all for this reading. It's just for this tarot reading. It's just because it's a past lives reading. Okay.
Okay.
So burn some sage up. Just give me a minute.
Now, is there anything in particular that I should be doing through this?
Right now, just let me say my prayer. Okay. So now, yes, you're going to play a very big part in a few minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we have our sage burning. We have our salt done. We have our water represented, our frankincense, which we can actually move over here now. Okay. Now, I want to, I know there's usually a way that I can move this down, but maybe not. Are your mic levels changing? Okay, so that's our private chat. We did that. Are people like freaking out, calling me like a week? This is like watching a scary movie. Like, I'm not looking at the comments. You guys are gonna have to let me know if people are thinking like I'm fucking weird or whatever. Okay, so what I want to put this on right now is the board. See if I can turn it sideways. So how can I set this up so you can see what I'm doing in such a way that in overhead, how can I do this? Okay, so
Get Tom.
yeah, Tom's upstairs keeping Bama busy for me this evening because Jackson's sick. Okay, so basically, we're going to do this step by step. That's what I'm going to have to do. So right now you can see the whole table. It's all set up, right? And I'm going to just, it's hard because my headphones are on the bottom of the I'll set you up on the salt right now. Okay, so I've been working with, I have several tarot decks, but this tarot deck is like my tarot deck. Everyone has, I know some people that work with rune stones. I know some people that work with other different things, but you always work with most people, any person who, druids usually use rune stones. People, it's basically a form of divination, which is basically the way you communicate with your deities, just like Christians have Bibles
Right.
and hymns, right? So there's nothing hokey about tarot cards,
It's literally just like
unless
the practice. Like that's and like an
if you have a
artifact per se.
question that you want to talk to your deity about, like, or if you have questions in your life or whatever, and you want to talk to your deity, some people use rune stones, some people use, I don't know, all kinds of, are several different ways of doing it, but 9 times out of 10, someone who practices my religion uses tarot. That's the way we talk to our deities. So there's nothing crazy about it. The
No, it
thing that,
makes perfect sense actually. Like it truly does. Like the cards will be aligned in the way that is the deity's will in a sense, right? Like
well, they talk to us through them.
yeah.
Yeah. And, it's like, what gives it a bad name is all these like fake motherfuckers out there who, let
Right.
me tell you your future type of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
So, okay,
boardwalk palm readers.
right, exactly. Now,
Uh
generally, the way this would work is, in order for me to do something for you, you would have to handle the cards and put your energy into the card. But like I said, like I'm channeling this for you, right? So the first thing that, and I need you to take this seriously, like the first thing I need you to do is just to like close your eyes for a minute and really think about the questions that you want answered. Like, what are the questions that you want answered? And just kind of really try to push that energy my way.
do I have to like speak it or
No,
anything or I
no,
can just
no,
okay.
totally not. This is energy goes to energy. Energy
Can,
goes to energy.
can I get like another view of your table again just for a minute so I can like really
Sure,
visualize myself there? I feel like that would help.
sure, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
I'll give you a big view of it. The cards are right there.
All right. I think I got it.
You mean the one on the table? Let me fix it.
So I just had a weird little twitch. Sometimes when I stare deeply into my pineal gland and it gets going, I get these weird little like finger spasms, and that
Mhm.
just happened. Giving me the heebie-jeebies already. Ooh, okay.
Somebody had made a comment about the star on the table not being. I had it off center a little bit, so it wasn't completely a 5 point. So I hope you feel better about that now. That's probably why you got the twitch, because you were probably concentrating at the time that I moved it.
Oh, that's weird.
See how I moved it, so now
Yeah.
it's like at the right angle now. So that's
Right.
probably when you felt the twitch, is when I moved it, which means it's good. It means the connection's working between you and I. Okay. So now the next thing that we do, I'm wondering, there's got to be a way that I can set this up so
Jasper, what? Why are you crying, buddy? What's up?
you can see what I'm doing here. I actually want to put this on front camera now. Let me go to my settings. Oh, settings, camera.
Yeah, I agree with No Point. He says you should start a channel giving readings to your viewers if this goes well. Which I'm about this. I love exploring new things, and like I find knowledge and perspective fascinating because everyone's different, and it's like there's so much you can learn from every perspective. And it's like if something works, and it works, you know, if it clicks for you, it's like it clicks for you, you know, and that's why I find it just so necessary to explore all possible options, you know?
I'm gonna get this so that way you're getting. I don't. It's still showing back camera. I wanted to actually show the front, but it's not. It's showing the back. Hold on, give me one sec. I think you're right. I don't want this to show me. I want this to be like, oh, wait a minute. I put it on its side. Kind of up on its side, maybe. If I put it that way, maybe. Will that work? You can see some of what's going on. I don't want it to show me. I want it to show the table.
Fully upside down now.
Is it? Okay, on the side, does it work at all? Still upside down. Why is it upside down? That's weird. I just want to show you like the next part of what's going on, but okay, it's not showing the table at all. I think I'm just not at the right angle. If I put you in the front, give me a sec. If I set you up here. There we go. That'll work, right?
Yeah, that's good. I can see a lot there.
Okay. So the first step that we take is that we shuffle the deck 3 times. Okay. Oops, you fell.
Ow. I fell.
Oh, sorry about that. We don't.
I think you muted yourself as well. I don't know if you can hear me. Mel?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh,
Please be respectful in the comments. This is your first, last, and only warning.
I don't know how to say. We can't hear you, Mel. Oh no, she's still going for it. Mel, no. We can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us, but we can't hear you. Are your headphones like not plugged in? Like, did they get unplugged when the thing moved around? Somebody text her. Hold on. I'm going to send her a DM on Twitter. They'll send a notification, right? Oh, hello? Nope, still muted. That's so weird. Did like the mic setting change? What in tarnation?
I have no idea.
What is this haberdashery happening? It's kind of crazy how like weird shit keeps happening.
Right?
Like, oh man, like
Listen, I wasn't trying to rain on your parade, but I was like, "Ugh."
no, I'm about it. I'm ready to find out. You know, I know there's something there. What the fuck is? Did I like bump my face or something? I probably did. Oh well. Does this mean your deity doesn't want to talk? It's possible. Um, it could also just be technical difficulties because that shit happens all the fucking time. Let's be real here. Has there
Facts.
ever been a good perfect time with StreamYards or fucking Restream ever? No, never.
No.
Literally never. Like, and I'm a firm believer in like the kind of energy you put into this world is what you get out of it. So I don't think like I think I've been good enough that karma wouldn't fight me today. Yeah, what happened? Where'd she go?
I have no idea.
Yo, why are y'all trying to freak me out so much? I am. I'm fucking. Yeah, there we go.
I had to, for some reason, my headset stopped working. I'm telling you, this is a fucking pain in my ass. Okay. We need good energy. Okay. Can you see the cards?
No, I see like your TV. I think you have the camera facing the other way.
Do I? Oh. I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
there we
this
go.
is becoming like a.
Hey, it's like that sometimes. Don't even worry about it. You know how many times have I had to fuck around with my goddamn camera because that shit would not just fill in the fucking frame? Like, don't even trip. We're good. We're good. I'm not even sweating it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get you set up again over here.
I'm picking up the good vibrations.
Turn up my volume. Okay. Now, get you set up. I want you to see as much as. Okay. Can you see the deck of cards?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want you to do is I want you, because we're going to cut these 3 times, right? So I want you to tell me basically where to make the first cut. Like, tell me right now where to kind of stop to make the first cut. Where to pick up the first set.
I'd say pick up like a third of the deck.
A third of the deck? Okay. And then off of this second pile, how much do you want me to take off? It can be from one card to
Like
all
a
but
fourth,
one card, anywhere in between.
like a fourth of the deck.
A fourth of it. Okay. Now, which pile would you like me to pick up first?
The middle one.
Okay. And where would you like me to place it?
On the left pile or my left, your right. The small pile, the last one, yeah.
The last one. Okay. And then Would you like me to put that on top of this one, or would you like this one to go on top of the other one?
I'd like that one to go on top of the
Go on
small
top.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start putting cards down, and I want you to tell me when to stop. Okay?
Okay. Stop.
Right here on this card.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going to take this card. I'm placing it on this pentagram over here, okay? I want you to notice that this card, if you look at all the other cards in my deck, which look like this is what it looks like. Stupid fucking Discord shit, man. This card actually looks very different. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
It has a different, it's smaller, and it has a different backing to it. But you didn't see that, right? When you were picking it out.
Well, I did see it, but I was going for a particular number uh, of cards in.
Okay.
So I was going for like the fourth card, and that's that one.
Okay. So we're going to take these cards right here, right? And we're going to place these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. There are a few things I want to, that I always want to explain to people about a tarot deck before I read. I don't just sit there and look at cards and just tell you a bunch of shit about cards if you don't know anything about a tarot deck, okay? And all tarot decks are different. They all have different things that represent different things, whatever. But the things that are true and maintain the truth is that there are two types of cards. There's the major arcana and the minor arcana. Major arcana speak for themselves. And I'll explain those later. Minor arcana are things like rods. Rods are staffs. In some decks, they're called staffs. And in some cards, and in some decks, they're called rods. And basically, they represent spiritual power or some type of like power within yourself, okay, or spirituality, or whatever you happen to believe in that way, your strength in that way. Then there's pentacles, which have to do with wealth or money or something of that nature. Then there's cups, which have to do with love, relationships, and anything of that nature. And then there's swords, which have to do with power or power, strength, anything of that nature. Now, also to let you know, while all these cards have those meanings, when a card is inverted, the meanings that it normally has are inverted. They mean the opposite generally.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard that before.
Um, which is not always a bad thing.
Right.
And then with the major arcana cards, they all have their own set of meanings. And some people choose to ignore them when they're inverted and they just stay within the meanings that they have. I don't do that. What I do when I look at a card, I read I read the entire thing. I don't just read it card by card and say, well, it's this, that, and that. It's an entire picture. They're basically giving you an entire story and an entire picture. So that's what you read. Okay. So what we have here is you have what your grounding, what your foundation is, your grounding, right? Past, present, future, what holds you down. You have this card and this card, which are your two anchor cards. As far as, remember, I told you like everyone has like a white, almost like a white light,
Yeah.
body, mind, and spirit. And there's a white light. Well, I call it a white light, like a white string. That's how I envision it. That keeps you kind of anchored and in place within where you are at this moment in time. Because your soul travels. You're a traveler by nature. Souls are travelers by nature. They just use this vessel for this time and place.
Right.
So these two cards are kind of like your anchors. These four cards right here tell about the journey that you've been on and the people, sometimes the people that you've been on the journey with. Okay. So we always start with um, what covers you, what's above you, and it could either be what's holding you down or it could be what lifts you up depending on the card. Okay. You have a lot of major arcana cards. Okay, so we have Justice, and she's inverted, and it's interesting. And you have an inverted Hangman on your foundation. That's good. I'm turning this over. I'm reading. I'm looking. I'm reading, and then I'll explain it to you after I get it all done.
Gotcha.
Wow. Do you think of yourself as a very intuitive person?
In what sense of the word?
Like, do you think of yourself as, do you get gut feelings a lot? Like,
Yeah.
do you tend to follow those feelings, or
Like
if you
ignore
don't
other people's
follow,
advice and go with what I think more.
yeah, and if you feel like you don't, sometimes you don't know why you have that feeling, but if sometimes if you don't go with what that intuition is telling you, you realize that you probably should have.
Yeah. All the time.
Shit, man. Okay. The first. You have a lot of major arcana cards in your reading, and it just means that you're an old soul. You've been around. I would say probably, and I had this intuition before I did it. I kept thinking five, five, five. It's going to be five lives, five lives. I'm counting here five, but I was wrong. It's six lives. 5 lives. You've had the same woman in your life with you. At some point, she's been at least in 2 of these lives. It's caused problems for you, but it's been a strong love. It's been almost like a soulmate that's followed you through 5 of these lives. Okay, so your 2 anchors are the sun and strength. Those are 2 very powerful cards. And the strength card, not only does it speak for itself, but it also is accompanied by the goddess. And so it accompanies not only just mental strength, physical strength, spiritual strength, but you also have to, in that strength, be able to realize that strength doesn't just come alone. It's a collaborative strength, right? And that collaborative strength comes from your very top card here on here is the Lovers. And you have the 2 of Pentacles inverted, which just means of mild, at one point in one of your lives, you were of mild means, nothing like wonderful, nothing. I mean, you weren't like super wealthy or anything like that, but you were an entertainer of sorts. However, this is accompanied by the next life with the high priestess. She's an extremely powerful lady. She's inverted, so this relationship had turmoil in it. However, there was a deep love, which is accompanied by the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is a card that is of a woman who she sacrificed herself for you. And I don't mean like she killed herself for you. I mean like she gave of everything for you to accomplish whatever it was that you needed to accomplish. And that is very much feels like it's in the present.
Yeah.
Now, if we go further back, your card, the card that represents you and who you are, is the moon. You can read up on this card on your own, but it very much suits you. I was actually really, I wasn't surprised that you pulled it. I actually thought you were going to pull up the Hangman for yourself, which I find interesting because the card that holds you down is the Hangman. And the Hangman's not a bad card. Um, but it just, and then you have justice that's over you. You have a very, again, a woman, a strong woman that has held you down. I see 6 lives for you. I see in 5 of those lives very strong women who have had very strong influence in you. I see a soulmate. She's a soulmate. You're going to continue in every life, she will be with you. That's indicated by the Strength card. I see that in your last life, the Knight of Swords, you had a very, it's inverted. It was a struggle with a very powerful male figure, or perhaps even yourself, over what you thought your path was going to be, or something. But it didn't cause strife with her. She's all over the place. She's everywhere. The Sun card I find is interesting, though, that you would pick out the Sun card. The Sun card is the yin and yang card. It says that you will forever be linked. The Sun card represents the goddess and the god, and that you will forever be linked. And if you look at the Sun card, I don't know if you can see. Do you see the hold on, let me see if I can get the, can you see the lion image in it?
Yeah.
Do you see the yin and the yang at the bottom?
Yeah.
So this is the card that you picked out originally when I asked you to stop, and you grabbed it.
Right.
Right? And this is your anchor card. This is the card that anchored you in the beginning in your first life. This is the card that keeps you anchored for all future lives. It's the Strength card.
It's
You
got
see
the
the
lion
lion.
in it too. Yeah.
You see the woman.
Yeah.
You have the Lovers. You have the High Priestess. You have the Four of Cups, which is a woman who is basically at the water side, filling the cups. You have Lady Justice. The Moon is the artist. The Moon is the provider. He's the creator. He also is sadness and despair. Tends to have issues with being sad. and depressed and needing um, the moon, while the sun card is a yin and yang and has the support of someone, the moon tends to be lonely and feel depressed, and while doesn't it has two faces. The moon has two faces. And so on one side there's I'm cool, I'm okay, everything's all right. On the other side, like inwardly is kind of crying and is kind of like in despair in some way. And this is what represents you now. And I don't know if this is because Lady Justice up above you is inverted right now and there's turmoil with her. But I do know that you have the hangman below you that's holding you up, which means that you have support underneath you. The problem with the hangman is he's he's not always sure of himself completely. That's why he's upside down. Um, so not always the most reliable person. So here it is all in a nutshell. 6 lives. I would say the first life, most definitely, probably you've got the Six of Swords. I would say probably someone who was of some type of military background, probably I would say of European descent. Um, Probably I wouldn't go back any further than maybe Roman Greco wars that time, maybe Greek. And then you've got your next one, just by the way it looks, I would say, um, again, you're dealing with a very powerful male figure. Um, uh, Again, um, a warrior of some sort, and but then it changes, because then it changes, and it looks like she changes you. Whoever this woman is that you meet in the next life changes you, and you become more of an entertainer or a pleaser, or some type of someone with means. You didn't have to be a soldier anymore. Someone of means in the next life. You're someone of means, and you continue to be that way. Um, until now. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can tell you that I know you're struggling now, but I can also tell you that whoever this person is, this woman that's been following you through history, whether she causes your turmoil or love or both, it looks like it's been turbulent sometimes and then wonderful sometimes. It's not someone you're getting rid of. She's going to stay with you. I don't know. I mean, do you feel like you have a soulmate that's been following you through history?
This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like,
All right, now you have to tell me what you think about the whole thing.
I'm like flabbergasted, first of all, because Yeah, the whole thing. Uh huh. Yeah. First of all, this fucking fly. So it's weird that you specifically say like the Roman Greco area of time and everything because my family is Italian. Like half of my family is Italian, so it's definitely possible that somewhere along that kind of path that I don't know. First of all, anyways,
It's definitely, yeah.
um, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things in there that just kind of hit. Especially the whole moon thing. That's a whole thing I'd rather not get too much into.
Well, that's personal. That's why I didn't get into it too much because people are watching this. So
Right, right, and
I could have gotten a lot more in depth, but this personal stuff. So
yeah, I'd definitely like to know more, like when we're off camera and everything. But so it's really weird because in not my last trip, but the trip before, I had like this kind of weird thought pop into my head that I had like an old soul, um, like an old soul, like it felt super fucking old, and so it was kind of like reaffirmed by even the most recent trip, like that really made me feel something. And when I was uh, speaking with my fiance under that circumstance, like there was kind of a point where like I looked at her and like this higher consciousness that was in me like during this trip like started coming out and voicing itself, and it had said to her like we always find each other, don't we? Like it was just this weird fucking thing that spoke through me and said that, and it was like talking to something within her. It wasn't talking to Sydney. And like she kind of had this weird snap into some mind state moment too that kind of went along and said the exact same things. And it's like what you had said about there being some turmoil specifically like in entertainer related situations, or what was that, like what was that specific part again? I can't remember.
well, that you've had some turmoil lately with her, but also that in the past there was turmoil as far as entertainment went.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but that's getting smoothed out. That's not. Yeah, it eventually got smoothed out.
Because that's like that's a whole nother thing.
Like she keeps you grounded. Whoever this woman is that's been like this soulmate, or this woman, whoever this woman is that's been following through your lives, she keeps you grounded.
Yeah, 100%. That's so fucking.
And she's not
Uh,
going, like, she's been here since the dawn of time, since your soul was created. I couldn't believe it when you picked this card out. Like, since your soul was created, your soul was created and meant to have another half. That's why the yin and yang is there. Like, your soul was created and meant to have another half. And all the way to the end, she's still there. So, like, and she's all through this fucking thing.
yeah.
All through. And like, the only life that she doesn't show up in is your first one. After that, like, she's in every single one.
So fucking weird. Like my mind is positively blown right now at everything that I have to like take in now. Like this it ties in so weirdly in so many different ways and so many different points, like spot on. Like man, my brain hurts.
Smoke a little bit, you feel better.
Oh, that might make it worse. Fuck it, you right.
But like, what I find interesting is like Pentacles only comes up once, and it's only the Two of Pentacles, and it's inverted, and it shows up like very early on, like probably 2, 3, 4 in your fourth life. fourth, fifth, like later on, and it doesn't seem to be like a big. It's like it's not a big motivator. It's not a big thing. Like this, it seemed like the questions, the silent questions that you were asking me, and sometimes it's weird because people don't realize like they get answers to the unanswered question, to the unasked questions. Like they think they're asking about one thing, but they're really asking about something else, which is kind of strange. It happens a lot. In fact, we have a card when we do a regular reading, which is here's the answer to the question that you asked, and here's the answer to the unasked question. Um, but yeah, it's like this is most definitely about you. There were some inner struggles. Obviously, you ran into some struggles with, you know, um, I'm really worried about whoever this dude is, this Knight of Swords that was kind of at one point in time standing in your way of happiness, of I don't know, of her, of something. There was some type of struggle at some point with this dude, and it might be going on now, or it might have already happened. But I would have to pull a couple more cards to find out. But he's the thing that's kind of he's not. That's the one card in here that bothers me, but everything else like just pans out perfect, man.
Well, now I want to know like about the one card that's bothering you. Now I want that.
It's
I'm
just
curious.
normally like the card that's there is the thing that's like in your way, or the thing that's um that you have to that you're that you're getting through, or that you're going through at the time, or the thing that's kind of like um whatever obstacle is that you're going through. And this isn't a good dude. Hold on, let's see what we can pull up here. Oh my gosh, no, he's not going to be a problem. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Dude, I'm telling you, she's everywhere. Queen of Love right here, man. Covers him up. I cut the deck, pulled the card.
I'm definitely going to need to know more about this at some point. Most definitely. I'm very, very intrigued by a lot of this.
I would love to do just like a regular read on you, like not a past lives read, but just like a regular, like just a regular like daily read on you to see, what's going on. But I won't do that over a live because that's personal shit that's got nothing to do with anybody else. But I can't believe the amount of like power cards you have. Like you have a very powerful soul. Like the strength and wisdom in the soul that you have, and the amount of protection that you get, and the link that you have to this female soul that is moving along with you. It's crazy. I have never seen like it before, ever.
It's scarily spot on, like scarily spot on. Oh man, what a day.
I told you I'm not a joke, man. I don't.
No, I never
And
doubted you for
I
like a
don't do this
second
shit
on
to
that.
convince people, because people are like, well, I don't believe in it, blah blah. And like I said, like I don't care if you believe it or not. I don't do this shit to convince people.
Right.
you know,
And the thing is too, like I do have a little background on the information of tarot. Like my fiance, like I said, her family said that they practiced white magic at some point or another, which is literally like the exact same things you're doing. I've learned a little bits and pieces about the cards and the way they lay and like the meanings, and like everything that you told me was like pretty spot on to what I was like, okay, I think I remember this meaning, and that means something along this lines when it's facing this way. And it's like there's not a point in it where it feels like you're creating a narrative. There's a the whole time it feels like you're reading it,
Yeah.
like for and like that's the thing I find very credible about that. Like it
It's
doesn't
like
feel
reading a book or reading a, I mean, it's, you're talking to me. I'm talking to my deity, or I'm asking, please show me the story. Please, tell me the story. And then they just kind of lay the book out for me. And then I just read what they tell me. It's really not that difficult.
right,
People who fake it are people that, you know, I'll tell you, the number one people who fake it are the ones who sit there and read the little manuals about what every single card is supposed to mean and blah, blah, blah. And then they sit there and make up all this crazy shit. Like when the death card comes up and people are all like, oh my God, the death card, blah, blah. When actually, in reality, the death card means rebirth,
right,
change, stuff like that. It's not the worst card in the deck. It's actually a very good card.
right.
So I think people just, and I hate it because it gives people who actually do this shit, like, and have been doing this shit and do it privately for themselves every day and stuff, a bad name, you know?
So now my question is, what about my secret question, like the question I was
Ah,
silently asking? What do I need to know about that?
so you did ask me a secret question. Or the question that, or the unasked question. Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking about? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's leave your card out. You are now officially the moon card, just so you know. That is your card. You picked it for yourself, and I think
it's
it's great.
weird because I'm all about space and shit too. Like
You
I
picked,
literally have the fucking right.
I'm the star card. My card has always been the star card. Um, I picked it out 30 years ago, and now every time I do a reading, the first thing that comes up in the middle is the star card. I don't even have a choice. Like the tarot picked it for me, and it always shows up as my card. Always.
I gotta tell my fiance I'm doing this.
Okay. Tell me where to cut.
Um, about 40% of the way down, so a little bit before half.
You and your 40%. Okay.
And
Next
then
one.
like a third.
A third.
Yeah.
Okay. Which pile?
Um, the middle pile on top of the last pile.
The little
Yeah,
one?
yeah, and then on top of the other one. Yeah, same way as last time.
I'm running out of table.
I love it because there's like 12 people watching, but nobody's chatting. We're all like mystified, just
Yeah,
watching everything that's happening.
nobody's saying anything. And where did Hatter go? Was he like?
I got that fucking fly just now. Oh, thank God.
Oh, there he is.
Um, yeah, no, he's here. He was
Oh
typing in the chat.
shit, man.
I'm just being respectful in the background.
So that card I told you that I didn't like that showed up, like it's fucking right here at the end, inverted, just like it was right here. That same fucking card just showed up. All right, here we go.
Let me see that card. I'm gonna fight that card.
That card's a motherfucker, man. Okay, so this is a little different. This is like just a basic tarot reading.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to do, this is what is basically what crosses you, what causes a barrier for you. Yeah, we've got the Hangman, who was, I mean, he's still there. He's still in your court. I'm not surprised to see him, to be honest with you. And then we've got what covers you, what protects you. The Four of Swords. Interesting. Very interesting. Past. And Temperance. Above you, Queen of Staffs.
No, Hatter, I'm just interested more so.
Seven of Cups. Six of Cups. Six of Swords. The Emperor. The Star. That's me. Not in your thing, but that's my card. And there we have the Lovers again. Interesting. Uh, 90% of your cards are inverted. I don't necessarily always take the inverted meaning to mean anything more, but you have a lot more swords in this one. And you have some big power players too. Always, you have a lot of power players. Answer to your unasked question. The Lover's inverted. Star inverted. Fucking Knight of Swords, man. The Emperor. Queen of Staff. Temperance. Hangman. So I'm gonna guess by this that you've had some like I don't want to say falterings in your beliefs, and not necessarily spiritually, although the Queen of Staffs is spiritual. The staff means, um, like I said before, spirituality or whatever, but it can also mean faith in people, faith in whatever. Queen of Staffs is inverted, and she's supposed to be what covers you, but what's holding you up is the Seven of Cups inverted. And then you have Temperance behind you inverted. And what protects you is the Four of Swords, which is basically kind of like a compromise. A compromise of power. Making a compromise with someone that maybe you necessarily weren't 100% hip to, but we're like, I'm doing this for what's best for all, I guess, or what's best for us, or just because I don't want to like fuck this up or lose this or whatever, so I'm going to make this compromise. And you had the Hangman there. Which was bridging you from Temperance to Six of Cups. Six of Cups in your future, which is kind of, you would think would be a great thing as far as relationships go, but it's tedious because you have, it's tenuous. It's kind of not completely solid on solid ground. It's interesting because you have the Six of Swords come up. This is your past, present, question asked, question, uh, answer to the unasked question, answer to the question. And then you have this motherfucker. So, past Six of Swords, that's what showed up. The Six of Swords was the card that showed how many past lives you had. Past. The Emperor, present. It means so many things right now. There's so much shit going on right here. The Star. I'm more worried about this. Like, the unanswered question is an inverted Lovers. Whereas in the other one, Lovers was not inverted and it was on top here. She's not as present here. And what I see from here is like where she is present, it's not stable. There's turmoil. And there's turmoil because of this fucker right here. This one, right here. He keeps showing up. Answer to your unasked question. A compromise is going to have to be made. Some type of compromise. And it's to appease someone, to make something okay, because something's off balance. Something's off balance right now. And in order to put it back in balance, yeah, a compromise has to be made. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but that's what this is saying. And this card, the Emperor card, this guy, I don't know where he fits in. It's the first hypermasculine, like powerful dude. But the thing is like the Emperor also is like a negotiator of sorts, protector of sorts. So he might very well be on your side. But yeah, I don't know if any of that makes sense to you at all.
Yeah, there's some potentials that I think kind of want to fucking fly in my face is what there is. There's some of that sounds very. I really don't know how to describe it without going into personal details, so I will avoid
Yeah, it's
getting
personal
personal.
stuff. Like, I don't really want to get into it because it looks like, there's like some personal shit going on in your life right now that, you know, relationship stuff. And I'm not just talking about with you and your girl. I'm talking about like with other people. There are other people represented here. And it looks like there's just some shit that's off balance and stuff that you kind of need to work out to get back in balance with people, or
Right.
they need to work it out with you. But um it's saying here that like you're the one that ultimately is going to end up making the compromise, or making the, to kind of make it okay with everybody. And it's not something that you're going to feel good about, but you're going to know that that's what you have to do. And I don't know if that's a role that you normally play. I know it is. I play it in my family, like where, you're like the one that kind of takes the hit just so to kind of keep the peace.
So does that card then have to do with like my family in particular, or like?
Well, the Queen of Staffs, I, I would say between the Queen of Staffs, the Emperor, and you had the Hangman covering you, who was the person who was holding you up prior. If it's not family, then it's people that are very close to you in your circle.
I have a lot to think about. A lot.
And this card, which is your past card, because I told you this is past, present, answer to your question, answer to your unasked question. I mean, this card, which is the Six of Swords, was here prior, which was basically the card that was saying how many lives you had prior. So that's a throwaway card because basically it's just the same question. But um, obviously, answer to the unasked question is the Lovers inverted, whereas it was at the top in in the past one. And that just basically means that, and I think the answer to your unasked question is whatever it is that you're going through in that department, it's going to work itself out. It'll work itself out.
All right.
That's what the Six of Cups is about. That'll work itself out. But um, it's this stuff here in the middle that I'm kind of um, I feel a little uneasy about. It's like don't compromise your principles or anything, but I feel like sometimes um, I feel like almost like you're the one that has to take the hit or be the peacekeeper, and I don't. It's with people who um, you're close to. I don't know if that's family, friends, people you work with. I'm not really sure.
Okay. There's definitely like a lot of potentials I see that like meaning or lining up with. I'd have to think more on it. But yeah, wow, that's weird. Weirdly weird. That's
Yeah.
all I can say.
You have a lot of repeat cards. But the one thing that I say is just really, really fucking weird and really bothers me is this inverted Knight of Swords.
Now, could
This,
that be a personal thing standing in my
this could
way?
be a dude, like, this could be someone right now that is just really looking. I just watch out.
N-
You know,
Now, is
someone
that
who is like, is coming at you one way, but his intentions are really not genuine and is I mean, he showed up in both readings in a position to do harm to you in one way or another, you know, to your relationship. Um, and so, in that way, I would just be wary if there's someone in your circle that you're not, because, like, I remember I asked you before if you're an intuitive person, because you're an old soul, and people who you're usually old souls are very intuitive. Like, we know, like, it you just get a feeling about people, like, you just, you know. And sometimes we want to shut it off because we're like, oh, why do I always suspect everybody? Like, not everybody's an asshole. Or it's like you want to shut it off because for other reasons, business reasons, whatever. I'm just telling you, don't shut it off. Like, if you're having a feeling about someone, be like a dog. If you're having a feeling about someone, follow that feeling, you know? And I just have a feeling there's someone around you right now that is not pure and genuine. They don't have your best interest at heart. And if you have that feeling about them, just follow that feeling, or at least watch, you know, don't put 100% into that energy into that, you know, just be wary, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
right? And my question that I was saying with that was, does that have to be another person, or can that be like an interpersonal conflict? Like,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
because you had
No,
mentioned something about that when you had put that card down initially.
the interpersonal conflict with this one that I see is whatever this compromise is that you're thinking that you have to make in order
Okay.
to keep peace, or to, it's either to keep peace, to make a deal go through, to fix something in your relationship, like making a compromise, say with your fiance, like you might not agree with something that she wants or whatever, but you're going to do it to please her, or doing something in your professional life, or an interpersonal conflict. That is, that's the thing that I'm worried about, as far as it's whatever this, it's either a compromise, or it's a an acceptance, or it's just a thing that you're doing. This other thing is actually a person that has shown up in both your readings. That's like, um, yeah, I had said it's an obstacle that you have to get through. Is that what you're talking about when I called it
Yeah.
an obstacle? Yeah, it can be an obstacle, like shit you're going through and have to get over. And I would normally say that that's just what it is if it had only shown up once, but it showed up twice in two different positions. And so I think of it more as a person than as just a single obstacle.
Okay. It's interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. A lot to think about. Like I said, a lot to really think about.
Yeah, sorry if I fucked with your head a little bit. I didn't mean to do
No,
that.
no, this is okay. This is what I signed myself up for. Like I said, everything is perception, and I think there's no wrong in seeking things out, you know.
I just think you can never have like too much information,
Yeah, I agree.
and it doesn't matter where it comes from. It. I think that if people can sit in a church and pray, and I've seen people like I've been to born again Christian churches where people have spoken in tongues and done all kinds of crazy shit, and got you watch videos of people getting bitten by snakes, and you know what I mean, like that kind of crazy
Yeah,
stuff. Like, how is that any more crazy than what I do?
literally. Yeah.
It's really not.
That's exactly what I mean, and that's kind of the conclusion I've come to as I've taken psychedelics and meditated and seen there's so much more in this realm that we don't understand. That's just so much further past our feeble human brains, and like like if you don't plug into this thing inside of you, you'll just never know. Period. Like you might think you know, you might accept some fucking religious thing or anti-religious fucking atheist thing, you know. But then like when you search within and you really like look within and not look for answers outside,
Hmm.
you're looking for answers within. I think you open yourself up to a realm of potential, you know. They say it's like similar to like happiness and saying like if you can't find happiness within yourself, you can't find it in exterior things. And I think it goes the same way. If you can't find the spirituality or holiness within yourself, you're not going to find it elsewhere outside of things. And that's why I've recently been on the kick of like experience like looking for more within, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, of course. Like, I I went through a period of my life where like I did a shit ton of like introspective, introspective section. Jesus, I can't even talk. But like really like took a long hard look at myself because um I realized that for most of my life I was kind of living in this perception of what everybody else thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but that's not who I am. And, you know, when I was done, I was like, wait a minute. Like, I realized that I had to forgive myself for a lot of things, but I also had to learn to love and like myself for who I was because I didn't like the person that they were making me out to be. And to this day, like, my family has no idea who I am as an adult. I mean, I moved out of my family home when I was 16. I had my son and I moved out 2 days after my 16th birthday. And like I never moved back. And you know, I got married very early. I was 18 when I got married to my first husband, and like 3 months after we got divorced, I joined the military and I moved to Europe. And so I've never moved back home, but I when I would go home on leave or when I would go and visit, I realized that I would always get upset. They would always treat me badly, I thought. But what I realized is they were treating me like within the perception of who they thought I was. And the
Right.
only the only construct that they had was of a very angry 16-year-old girl. They had
Right.
and so even to this day, they've never taken the time, even though I've asked them to, they've never taken the time to get to know the adult that I grew up to be.
Right. That's super interesting you say that because I actually had a really similar experience with my family, and I only just recently opened up to them about my like psychedelic use and everything. Like within
Mhm.
this past week, like I told them everything. Like, but like you're saying, I still don't feel like they entirely get that idea. You know?
Yeah. And I don't think that especially my parents, like I don't think they ever will, and I don't think they ever have a desire to, you know. And so I had to make a decision, like, am I going to like not have a relationship with my parents because they upset me every time I see them, or whatever, because they're going to continue to treat me, like I'm an angry 16-year-old, or am I just going to just accept that my parents are the way they are, they're not going to change, and they're old now. Like my parents are 71, and you know just love them anyway and have a relationship with them, or not. I really don't, but still, like, I call them on holidays and everything, just because I want to have some part of them in my life, you know
Right.
and so I just kind of like forgive and accept, and just let it go, I guess, just for the sake of wanting them in my life, because life's too fucking short, basically, is the way I
Facts.
look at it.
Yeah.
But it is really hard to live. The whole JL Melrose persona and person grew out of the fact that my entire family disowned me. So I got off of all social media, my Facebook page, everything. I got rid of everything, and I disappeared for like 3 years. And when I came back, a friend of mine told me to start a YouTube page. And so when I came up back, JL Melrose was born, and all my social media was JL Melrose, my emails, my everything. And it was more protection, and there was no Facebook page. And it was all out of protection from my family, because I didn't want my family to find me. Had
Right.
nothing to really do at the time. I wasn't thinking of, anonymity from
Anonymity.
subscribers and stuff. That's not what I was thinking of. Although later on, I realized that that was a very good thing, because I had a couple weird stalker people. But
Yeah.
um, for me, it was, I wanted the freedom to be who I was, and not have my family find me or know who I was, you
Right.
know, online or anything. And so that's how JL Melrose came to be. And that's just a weird thing. That's like 5, 6 years ago. Really strange.
That is kind of crazy when you think about it, because like I had a similar story on my initial YouTube channel names and everything. Like I just didn't want to be found by my family, so like I created a bunch of weird names and shit. But I mean, Namson, that is my name. Like it's Nick Sampson, so it's a combination. So at this point, I've kind of like I don't care. Like if they find it, they find it. But like it's still like part of me thinks there's there's some things they'd see and be like, okay, whatever, that's our son. Or there's some things they'd see and be like, what happened to this child?
I can tell you, as a mother, we all do that at some
Yeah,
point.
no doubt.
We all do that. No, I mean, I know there's things that I've said on my channel. I'm always honest. I don't lie. But I know there are things that I've said on my channel that would hurt my family. But they've done a lot of things to hurt me. And, so would I take them back? If I knew my family was listening? Probably, because I don't do things to outwardly hurt my family. But at the same time, that's not what I created. I didn't create my YouTube channel to appease my family. I did it to
Right.
do the exact opposite of that. You
Be
know,
yourself. Yeah.
I did it so I could be authentically me and not
Right.
worry about it. And
Yeah. And I
so,
respect that. Like, I got nothing but respect for that. That's kind of what I started for, is because I just wanted to be my weird fucking self, you
yeah,
know? And
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
no,
I'm actually like just a weird fucking goofball. Like I really am like, but my family sees me as like this bitchy control freak. They're always like, oh, you all always have to be in control, always have to have the last word, always have to. And I'm like, I am so not like that. Like, if you watch my reactions, I'm fucking a fucking weirdo. Like, I'm laughing and I'm an idiot through most of my reactions.
right.
And I'm like, you guys just don't get it. You don't get it. You have no idea who I am. No idea.
And that's the way I feel too. Felt too. I was actually talking with Hatter about this literally right before the stream. I was explaining to him why it feels like it's so much easier to be genuine online than it is like in person, because in person, like, you always feel like you're putting on like a show for people because they're going to see you every single day. They're going to have to,
Yeah.
whereas online, like, if somebody doesn't like you, that's good. Like, fuck off, go live your life. I'll never have to see you again, kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, whereas if you're dealing with somebody in person on the daily, especially if they're a family member, like, you just kind of have to like make them happy. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have to sacrifice your own happiness for that, and that's something I've been realizing more in my life. But like, yeah, it's exactly what you're saying. Like, online, you just want to get to be yourself. 100%.
I've actually been like struggling with with my channel thing lately. Like, when I got out of the military, it was really hard for me to fit back in with civilians and civilian life. And so, a
Right.
friend of mine, I think I told you this, told me to start a YouTube channel because she was like, "You absolutely love music. You're good. You're a musician. You have so much knowledge when it comes to music and all different kinds of music. You really should start a YouTube channel. Plus, it'll get you back to talking to humans again." And I'm like, I don't think so. She said, try it out. So I did. That's how I got on here. And so my channel was always like my escape. It was like my escape from the anxiety that I had with dealing with people out here. And it's been good for like 5 years. That's exactly what it's been. And I've had a fantastic, and especially when I got sick and I had to leave for like my channel should be way bigger than it is. But first of all, YouTube stole some of my subscribers, but also, like I would have to leave for like 6 months for being in the hospital and having a couple surgeries or having chemo or whatever. Like, and I had a really fantastic core base of subscribers that never left me, you know. And I feel like over the last 6 months or so, um, my channel is becoming. It's not so much my sanctuary anymore. It's becoming a point of stress, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I
Right.
don't understand what's going on. Like, I'm so, I'm like,
you
is it,
you're getting out of it for the reason that it's not you're not in it for the same reason that you started currently. I feel like that's probably where you're falling out.
I
Not
don't,
that you're not in it, but you're being pushed in that direction maybe.
I think I don't even know if it's so much of that. It's that, well, first of all, the first point of it is that YouTube started blocking my videos. And I was just
Right.
like, what the fuck? Like, you've been leaving me alone for 5 years. Why are you all of a sudden blocking my videos? But it wasn't just me. All of us were getting pushed. And that's why a lot of us are streaming a hell of a lot more now than we used
Right.
to. So that was one thing. And when it came to streaming, you get new people into your channel. And I just think with the influx of new people, you get new personalities. And also with the people who were there for my reactions are not necessarily there for my streams. So I felt like I lost people that were very, very loyal subscribers. Now they're still subscribed to me. They haven't gone anywhere, but they don't come to my streams. So I kind of
Right.
miss that connection with those people. And then I think the adjustment with the new people, um, not all of them, like some of them are really fantastic people, don't get me wrong. But you got to admit, like some are very disruptive and they're assholes. And so that causes stress for me because I'm
Right.
just like, this isn't fun. Like, this is some days streams are fucking fun as hell and you can have a great time. And then other times you're just, it feels like you're in a kindergarten. And
Yeah, no, I've experienced streams like that back in my day of when I used to, especially gaming streaming, because you would always be dealing with literal children.
oh, yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I get what you mean on that end. It's yeah, no, it's and that's what I mean, like, in the sense of like, you're kind of forcibly being pushed away from that. You're being forcibly pushed away from like your comfort zone and put into a zone where these people are kind of like invading, you
Yeah.
know. And I think I had a very similar experience, like I said, and that's kind of why I stopped doing YouTube in the beginning. But I realized like that wasn't what I should have done. Like I should have just adapted myself more so to find ways to deprioritize those things, if that makes sense. Like to make my own opinion and views so much greater than those that were causing me like mental stress, that I just didn't care about their presence anymore, if that makes sense. Like that kind of sounds almost egotistical, I feel like.
No, totally get it. And like, I've had conversations with other people who have basically told me the same thing. Like, you know, what I have, I guess this is it in a nutshell. This is how I feel. I spent 5 years building my channel, and I had a very good group of reactors where we all started our channel around the same time. And they have much bigger channels than I have now because, like I said, I was gone a lot, so I wasn't able to build. There was a time where I was putting out 5 videos a day, like 7 days a week. Plus, I had Patreon. Plus, I had every. I was fucking going just like everybody else. But then the cancer came back, and I just couldn't do it.
Right.
But like, but I have a really tight group of like reactor friends and fans, and I had done so much to build up my brand and respect in my community of people that I was associated with. And you know I was well respected. I respected them. Like, we all like respected each other's word. Our word was like bond, like everything. And then like all this I just feel like in the last 6 months it's all been shot to shit. Like, and I'm like, so my biggest problem with all of this is the disrespect. Like, I feel like um with all these changes that are happening, it's like all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm doing all these things that I thought were good things that I was doing for the community, and getting absolutely no fucking respect for it. And it's not like I demand respect, and it's not like I'm sitting there going, respect me, I'm wonderful, I'm fantastic, I'm doing all these things, I want my props. It's not like that at all. But I'm just like, fucking common decency.
People don't have gratitude anymore. Like people
Exactly.
can't be thankful for anything unless they're getting exactly what they want. And that's kind of something that I've been talking a lot about too on my channel, is like gratitude. You get to choose. Gratitude is more important than happiness, because happiness is a fickle emotion that you can't control. You're not in control of. But you get to choose what you're grateful for. Like you get to say, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. And that feeling, once you start allowing yourself, because that's really what it is. Like, these people don't allow themselves to experience gratitude, and if they don't allow themselves to be grateful for, the fact that you put these things together, or be grateful for even having the opportunity to be in it, like, or anything it might be, then they continue with this attitude that they're owed everything in the world. And it makes, it's illogical. Like, it's a loop of illogicalness. Like, when you think about it, I'm shitty, and I'm not thankful for anything. I'm not grateful for anything. So I'm owed everything, and I'm not getting what I owed. So I'm upset, and I'm not going to be grateful. So
Yep.
I'm not getting it. And it's just this loop that just keeps.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
a whole generation of self entitlement, though. I mean, really it's a symptom of the generation, but it's just. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I think that's what bothered me the most is like I've been through so much in the last few months, and it's just like I felt like people who were kind of behind me and in my corner, I come to find out weren't. And I was hurt. I'll just say it straight out. Like, I was super hurt and I felt kind of betrayed. And like, so when you feel that way, I think you're less likely to kind of want to, because I'll do anything for anybody. Like, I will do anything for anyone who's there, you know, I don't know. It's hard, man, because like I'm a super generous person and I'm super empathetic and shit like that. But don't fucking cross me.
Yeah.
Like, I will give you the world. I'll give you any chance. You know what I mean? And like, cause like I'm all for that. Cause I believe everybody deserves that. Cause I fucking came from fucking dirt, fucking nothing, and clawed my way for everything that I fucking have. So if I can help anyone in the world get a leg up, I will do that for them.
Right.
But don't fucking take my kindness for weakness because, like I said, I clawed up for everything. Like, I'm a fucking street bitch. Like, I grew up on the streets. I don't know why people think like I didn't. Like, I fucking grew up on the streets. I was a street kid with no fucking parentage whatsoever. Then I fucking joined the fucking military. I mean, I'm not a fucking little prissy bitch that's gonna sit in the corner and put up with your bullshit. I don't know why people think that they can just do that shit to me and have me like sit in the corner and be like, okay. So once someone crosses me like that, I'm just kind of like, I won't even, I won't pick a fight with them. I won't do anything. I'm just kind of like, all right, we're done.
It's not worth your time or effort. And that's like what I was going to get to there is like that's something I've been kind of realizing more in my life, and I'm really enjoying like living by this principle, like taking this advice and applying it, because like I've realized that there's so many people that I'll put myself out there, I'll do all these things for, and then it's always like advantage being taken every single time. And I realize like that is one of my biggest weaknesses, is the fact that I'm so willing to help everybody else before I help myself. And it's like
Exactly.
it's a similar thing. And it I think that's partially based on the way I was raised, as well as partially like who I am as a person. Like you said, I feel like a very empathetic person. Like, I always try to see people's points of view, and like that has done me more harm overall in my life, I feel like, because of how much I put my own feelings aside for other people. Um, and it's funny, the whole reading thing
Hard
kind
for
of, yeah, it kind of all ties into like I always feel like I'm compromising myself and my own beliefs and the things that I know that I'm capable of for other people's feelings, or to help other people. And
hmm
it's like man, seeing that card and hearing you say what you said, and like hearing based off of circumstances that I've been through and, you know, sometimes still go through, I'm like, yeah, wow, if that ain't a bitch right there. Like,
Don't
yeah.
lie, man. I don't lie. Yeah,
Well, Chris,
no,
that's
so
because I'm broke. Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
just kind of like at this point I'm just like I'm not I my days of fighting people are over.
Right.
Now, I mean, you reach a point in your life where you reach a certain maturity level where you're just like, if you lose respect for someone, like I do, like I lose respect for someone, it's like I you're not even in my sights. Like I
Yeah.
don't even see you.
It's not worth wasting your time.
Nah. And the fact of the matter is, like, the reason why I don't see you is because if I even mention your name, it puts shine on you. And you're not worth that. So, you know, but it doesn't change the fact that when I think someone's in my corner and I find out that they're not, it still hurts. It's still like,
Yeah.
that's a motherfucker. Jesus. You know,
It's almost like it's funny because I almost relate that to more so that it hurts the way you feel about them. I feel like maybe more so it hurts your own ego, like oneself of like wow, I wasn't a good enough judge of character to
that's what
spot
hurts.
that. Yeah, and I think that's because
Yeah.
I feel that. I definitely feel that.
Yeah. Because I put a lot of pride in the fact. I mean, fuck, I was a top fucking profiler and interrogator. I can't tell you everything that I did for the government, but like, that's my fucking job,
Right.
to fucking know people, to fucking really know people. And so when people like get by me like that, yeah, it's more I'm pissed off at myself and than I am anything else. Like, if you're a piece of
Yeah.
shit, you're a piece of shit. It's my fault that I didn't figure that out.
Well, it's definitely too. I think you know some pieces of shit are extra good at disguising themselves. You know, at slithering through the garden, and you can't catch them all. You know, it's that's kind of another thing too. Is like you can't spot them every single time because eventually, you know, that's the crazy thing about like evil as a whole is it's very deceptive, deceitful. You know, it's like it's able to disguise itself in ways that do fly under the radar sometimes. And I'm writing a a script for a video about something similar called the biggest evil or the greatest evil we face in modern society, and it's doubt. I think doubt is the biggest proprietor of negativity in this world. You know, self doubt, doubt in others, second guessing yourself, and because it allows you to have so many different subsidiary effects that come with it, like you know, fear.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would counter that and say that fear is the biggest
Well,
one.
they're synonymous. They're definitely one and the same. Doubt comes from fear. Fear creates doubt, and vice versa. You know, fear comes from doubt, and doubt comes from fear. You know, I definitely think they're one and the same, but I think the combination of the two. It's funny because like that's doubt was my like main thing, but fear was the immediate subsidiary that I listed under it. Like da, 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 yeah. The biggest evil plaguing humanity in today's age is fear and doubt. So I guess I listed fear first. Doubt and fear, but then I switched it around next sentence. Doubt and fear have run rampant throughout society since the early days. Astaroth is the first manifestation of doubt, a demon of the Hebrew faith that seduces by means of laziness, self doubt, and rationalized philosophies. The Greeks have Phobos, the god of fear. And yeah, so it's really interesting that yeah, I listed those same, you know, same things, you
I
know.
would love to read that when you're done with it.
Most definitely. I was writing it literally before I went live with Hatter, so it's like it's still a work in progress for sure, but I plan on getting it all fucking I plan on writing a book eventually. I've realized like I really want to do that. Like the more information I collect on like philosophy and everything, and the workings of the mind and all the interesting.
Fucking Carol, stop posting shit in Discord, man.
God damn it, Carol. Just kidding. We love you, Carol. Um, but yeah, no, I think I would. I think the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I would like to write a book. Yeah, I think that'd be a fun experience.
I've been working on a book for about 2 years now. I can't figure out why I can't finish it. And I'm
What's
hoping
it
I
about?
finish it. Well, originally it was because I was trying to be too sensitive to, because it's autobiographical kind of. And I was trying to be too sensitive to the other people in the book and how they would feel.
But you
But
can't
now
do that.
I've gotten to the point
Yeah,
where I'm like, fuck it, the truth's the truth.
and it's
And
your perspective too. You know.
yeah, so they can suck it.
Yeah, it should be told as you seen it, as you see it through your eyes. You know, that's the beauty of perceptual reality and perspective is the fact that the way you see things is not the same way somebody else does. But if you can read about it, if you can learn to see it through the way they see it, maybe they'll change in a way. You know, like what we were talking about earlier. And I also have to say, fucking CW in the chat says Carol fucking Baskins. That bitch Carol Baskins. Yeah, oh my god,
Can't
that
even. I want to see the chat. What's going on over there?
fucking Tiger King, man.
I don't have any money for variety. Oh, are these all old? Build a Bitch is the title, and I'm watching it right now.
Interesting.
You're such a good dancer. What the fuck is he talking about? Oh, I'm hoping to get them back up and running by this week. I feel bad, like we've totally taken over Hatter's stream. What's going on?
Listen, I've been doing behind the scenes work, so I've pushed out all of my videos that I had recorded, ready to go,
Oh, good. Okay.
Hatter's getting
promoted all of
shit
them.
done. And he's
So,
like, and I'm racking up that ad revenue by Nampy and Mel keeping the viewer retention up. He's like, it's a win-win for me, baby.
I mean, I wasn't going to be
I'm
rude
gonna
and
can't.
interrupt.
I can't stop laughing. What the fuck is going on here, man?
Erlen's being a dickhead.
Oh,
They're saying some weird shit in the chat for sure.
I want a reading. You want a reading, Mel? Who's no name to put YouTube? I don't even know who you are.
He's his name's Chris. His name's Chris Brown actually, which is I love telling that story, which is probably why he goes by no name to put, because he doesn't want you calling him Chris Brown. Anyways, he used to watch my streams way back, and then he's a long time. Good kid for sure. Not a troll.
I'm gonna have to start charging for that shit. You know, I'm like one of the only reactors on YouTube that doesn't fucking get any donations from people because I'm too fucking nice. So I'll have to start fucking charging for tarot readings then.
Hey, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Mel, there's a video that Damson put out. I can't remember exactly what it's titled, but the basis of the video is what do you value your time at?
Facts.
Go watch that video, and then
I
take
value time at a lot. I should be getting fucking donations. I need them to live with. Because
hey,
and
listen,
everybody fucking knows that the money they give me pays for my home health care nurse. Pays for my home health care nurse because the VA won't pay for her. Like, it's not like I'm out there fucking spending the money on fucking pinwheels. You know what I mean? It's like, why did I say pinwheels? I have no fucking clue. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not blowing the shit on lotto tickets. It's for my health care.
Right.
Yet people will leave my stream, go to another stream, request a song for $20, and then come back to my stream. What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah.
I look at it this way: I got a family to take care of. So when I got to the point where I had 150 free reactions built up on my thing, it's like, listen, I got to shut the free request down. I'm going to keep the priority request open because I got to get these ones caught up, but I still have to take care of my family too.
Facts.
And like, I don't charge an arm and a leg for a recorded reaction. I don't think $10 for a
No,
reaction
that's
that bad.
literally like one of the best prices that's on that fucking website, bro. Like,
Right. And like Mr. Ultimate Omega, he just dropped the song yesterday. I woke up this morning, I had a cash app from him. Hey, drop the new song. So what happens? I record the video, upload it. It's up on the channel within 24 hours. I think I'm one of the cheapest YouTube channels out there for recorded reactions. Granted, I don't have a hell of a lot of subscribers, but the ones that I do have are very, I'm going to say, loyal. They, the names that you see in the chat are the names that you see in the chat all the time.
yeah.
And like
They're
if I,
all in chat too.
right, but if I tell them,
We share the same people.
if I tell them
They're paying you money.
that
Ge-
this person is cool, go check them out, go subscribe to them, they're going to go over and they're going to subscribe to them because they trust my judgment.
Well, then you better be sending them my way. No Name says, "Can I get one in before you charge? I'm broke."
No Name, I got your reading. Money is not in your future. Not with that attitude.
What did Gary says that's BS, Mel? What's BS? The fuck's that mean?
What up, Nico?
I want to know what Gary means. What's BS? Are we able to announce now?
I think he's probably saying that they'd go to another stream, drop $20, and then come back to you.
Oh no, that's true. They do that.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think he's saying like no, they don't do that. I think he's saying like that's
Oh, it's
bullshit.
BS that they do it to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Gotta take a leak real quick though. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm broke too. Hey man, I feel you. Like I got money, but I also got bills. Like I got to make a payment tomorrow, otherwise, a certain service.
Man, they stopped. They didn't pick up my trash this week because I wasn't able to pay my trash bill.
Nice.
Tom's like, just want to let you know they didn't pick up the trash. I'm like, well, probably because I didn't pay them. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that shit. Like, if I don't have the money, I don't have the money.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I mean, that's why, I started doing my merch in house. Like
today, he was so happy.
Yeah, he sent me a picture of it. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to do everything I can. Like, I do these stupid streams to where, you guys can watch me choke down a spoon of baby food or whatever.
Yeah, it does suck, Gary.
But it's like, I'm not doing it because I'm begging for money. I'm giving you guys an opportunity. Everybody in the chat seems to love to torture me, so.
I want people to torture Tom, but he's not into it.
Tom is. I just think he wants to get something in return out of it, and not in a YouTube safe way. Nico, the 30th. I will have to write that down because the Real Young Swag is also dropping a song on the 30th. I'm thinking about inventing something impossible. Well, you've already got negativity in your comment there because you're saying that it's impossible, so you're already setting yourself up for failure. I would have reworded that. I'm thinking about inventing something unheard of. It's all about your mindset.
Sorry, I'm eating chips. I'm hungry.
No, you're fine. Shit, you were doing the read, and I went and made dinner and ate dinner and then did all my behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm listening to you guys talk. I do not play Fortnite CW.
My question,
and you shouldn't.
I dabble with a little bit of Minecraft.
I'm his hat, but you couldn't send me my present from B-Mac.
I forgot all about it, honestly. It's in my drawer. You said you wanted me to give it to you in person.
Well, that's obviously never going to fucking happen because you don't want us to come to your house.
I have sent you my address. We were supposed to meet up, and then I got a message from somebody else saying, "Oh shit, she's so sorry," because we were supposed to meet the week before Christmas, weren't we? Yeah, the week before. No,
Oh no,
I think it was the week after Christmas, before we were supposed to get that first big snowstorm.
I was sick.
Yeah, I heard. That's why I was like, I kind of figured. And then I knew you had other shit going on, so I was like, I'm not gonna bug her.
Hol-
Listen,
holidays.
I do YouTube full time. This is my job, so I'm available anytime you want.
The fuck do you think I do? Like,
I'm just saying, I don't have that 9 to 5 anymore, so I literally am available anytime.
so you drive here then, and come see
I
me.
I don't have a car. Miss Hatter has a car, and she needs to go to work two towns over.
I got a question for y'all. Totally unrelated, but a question nonetheless. And this
Alright.
goes for Chad as well. So, I realized that one thing I'd like to do is read more fucking books. And I was thinking like Audible because I was like, oh, then I could just listen to it while I do other shit. And then I was, well, yeah, and that's what people said to me. But then I was like, hey, here's a thought. What if I fucking improve my own shitty reading level by literally reading the books and I do that shit on camera? Would y'all listen to books read by Nampy? Like,
Yes, you have that ASMR voice.
we could do like a poll each week or each time I'm gonna do a new
I don't
book.
know.
What
You
would be
can
the
do it animated, like if you're reading at a children's library or something.
I could
Like make
definitely.
all the voices and shit. Would you do that?
Well, if I read a children's book, maybe, but like for
No,
like a
like if you're reading a book, like any book, like would you change your voice for the characters and shit? Make it interesting so it's not all monotone.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it would definitely depend on the book. Like if it's a character-based book, then yeah, for sure. But some of the ones like I really wanted to started with would be like philosophical books, like you
Oh
know,
god. Don't tell me like fucking
like one of them that I've listened to recently was a book called Psychology and Alchemy by fuck, what's his name again? Son of a bitch. By Carl Jung, I think, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Carl Jung, and
I don't know. I
that book
minored in
fascinated me. So like things like that really interest me. But then like if like the chat and everything wanted me to like pick a certain book or something, like yeah, I could work that into kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't all be like the same genre, obviously. But yeah, I could do fucking character voices. I'm saucy with it. Yes, for real. Read an actual book like a man. Got you. Gary, I am actually somewhat full time YouTube. The only other job I have is a job I can't really disclose. Um, and you can think about things about me and associate thereby, you know,
what
infer.
state are you in, Namson?
Maryland, the land of the merry people. But
There
that's
you go, Namson.
Mary, so people named Mary, not Merry. That's there's no Mary people here. Do you want to play with my balls?
That's the first recommended book, and it's an actual kids book.
What in the fuck?
I'm I am dead ass serious.
He's a
14.95.
Chippendales dancer like me. That's right. I've been exposed.
You know what I hate about philosophy?
What's that?
Because I was a philosophy minor in college for my bachelor's. Every single fucking class started with. Hold on. Every single class, we would sit down the first day of class, and it all started with, "Does God exist?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck cares? I mean, to be honest with you, can we talk about other things? Like, it didn't matter. Like, it could be like my fourth philosophy class or fifth one. Same question. I'm like, didn't we cover this in like philosophy 101 and
I
102 and 103? Like, why?
I
And
definitely feel like it's something that comes up so much because it is like a root question. Like, it's definitely a topic that's covered way too much, but like every single other major topic stems some way or some shape or some form by are we created, like, or where do we come from, you know? That's the great question. Well, no, I'd say the great question is more so like the purpose of life, but one of the other great questions is,
is
where
there?
do we come from?
I like the question of, is there a separation between the mind and the soul?
Mhm. See, and I like topics like that too.
Yes, but you can't have one without the other.
Right. And the mind and the soul directly are connected to God based off of some faiths. So it's like to be
I
a philosopher, I feel like you have to be able to accurately debate both sides of the coin, or at least, you know, show points to both reasons, if that makes sense.
Ooh, okay.
There's the whole, table in the room thing and all that shit.
Yeah.
Have you actually taken philosophy classes?
Nah, the only school I went to was for film. I just self educate myself on these things. Like I look up
I
topics to read.
for Nick and Hatter. Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut. Go ahead.
I love how you're so nonchalant about it. Well, you're nonchalant about it, but you contradicted yourself at the same time. I'll keep my mouth shut, and then you open it to put in a chip.
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with
Well, fuck, I
snacking.
just thought it was kind of rude for him to say, I have a question for Nick and Hatter. I'm
He's
like,
like, Mel, don't you dare fucking answer this question.
right.
This
He
one's for the boys.
might as well have just said, Mel, shut the fuck up for a second. I have a question.
Oh my god. Chris is like, well, now I don't want to say it. Adopt a position? What do you mean, Gary? In what sense?
I think he was referring to his previous comment, metaphysics.
Metaphysics and then adopt a position. What?
Okay, Ultimate Omega. That's an interesting theory.
Hmm. I think that almost ties in a way into as well to being like an interdimensional being that we can't perceive in this reality.
You guys think I should start doing like streams where I have like conversations with either my chat or people that want to sit on like Discord or Restream or anything? Why can't you ask me that question? I
Yeah, what the fuck? Why is Mel excluded from this? Chris. What the fuck?
a YouTube
Chris.
channel. I've had a YouTube channel for 5 fucking years. Why can't I be involved in that question?
Listen, Chris Brown does not have a good running track record with women.
I
I'm like,
knew he was going to say that.
I do 3 live streams, maybe 4 every damn week.
Chris.
The real question is, do you want to do that? Because if you want
Yeah,
to do that, then the answer is always going to be yes.
exactly.
Chase your dreams, follow your dreams.
So that's literally almost word for word what I was going to say. I was going to say it doesn't matter what we think. It
Right?
matters what you want to do with yourself. The biggest thing in life is doing something you enjoy. And if that's something you
Exactly.
enjoy and you think you can get attainment and fulfillment out of it, then fucking do
Then
that
do
shit.
it.
Yeah, there's nothing else to it. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. One thing that I always say is when you ask somebody something, you're looking for validation in something you already believe. Go with your gut, every single time, go with your gut. And that's tying back into the doubt thing that I'm saying. Like, don't doubt yourself. Don't second guess the things you want to do. If you want to do it, just fucking do it. Like,
I'm tired of streaming Fortnite, and I still unfortunately don't have my PC, but I do have my laptop. You don't even need that.
gotcha, Gary.
You're saying.
Gotcha.
I literally started my entire reaction channel with a cell phone.
Facts.
A cell phone and a speaker to broadcast the music.
Yo, Chris, I gotta ask you something, man. Are you a fake fucking fan or something? Because how many fucking videos have I uploaded lately that say, fucking do the shit you want to do, upload that shit to YouTube because somebody will watch it and be the best with what you have? I literally say, I don't care if you've got a cell phone in your pocket, use that shit. Wow, Chris doesn't even watch my fucking video. You know what? Fuck you. Good night.
He's a Chippendales dancer like me. What the fuck? Who? What?
Good job, Chris.
Oh, what's up, Yuki? For all of these channels. What? Where's this Chris shit? I'm totally. Am I lost?
Chris is
He's
no name
no
to
name
put
to put
YT.
YouTube.
Oh, he's no name. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Brown. That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Sea Breezy.
Be
Fucking
breezy.
Chris.
That's why he excluded you from the question.
Cool. Like. Oh no, that's G-Eazy. Yeah, I'm misquoting.
Excuse me. Oh,
I'm
speaking
tired.
of there.
Living Fortnite.
I would be too. That shit made me want to blow my brains out.
You try Call of Duty.
I liked Call of Duty for a while, and then eventually I stopped liking Call of Duty. I don't know. I'd still play the zombies, but they've just been fucking up the zombies.
I like Assassin's Creed. That's my type of shit.
That's a banger game series for sure.
I need to get a system one day.
Just get a.
Where I can go in there and just like sneak up and kill people, man. That's my shit.
Get oh fuck, what was that game that I was just playing that's super stealth related? Ghost of Tsushima. That's a dope game.
Yeah?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that. But
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's on the PlayStation, PS4 and PS5, and it's like, yeah, you would definitely like that game. If you like old school Japanese like samurai type shit.
Ninja shit, samurai shit.
Yeah, you'd like that for sure.
Yeah, that's my kind of stuff. I mean, shit, like, I also like playing. I know this is going to totally date me and shit, but I like doing the old PC quest games, like, where, you know, you have to, like, run through the whole thing, find all the different puzzles, and fucking, you're literally writing down, like, fucking notebooks of fucking notes. Just because you have to like figure out these different riddles to fucking
gotta find
these
backstory,
ciphers to get through this different fucking shit. I geek out on that shit too.
Me too. Yeah, that was something I was very into in zombies actually of Call of Duty was like helping solve the Easter eggs and everything. What's civilization like? What do you mean, Gary? Gaming is very limiting. All right, that's one thing I'm gonna say. Like, it's okay to not be a gamer. I've realized in my life the amount of time that I've spent gaming. While I do love it, it's like that's time I'll never get back. That I could have been leveling up my real life. Like,
right?
You know, I regret
stopped
a lot of it.
I stopped it. Really the only time I gamed a lot was when I was deployed, and we weren't on a mission or whatever. What the fuck else are you gonna do?
Right. Count sand.
Honestly, like, there's nothing else for you to do. So we played a lot of video games.
You guys should play Ghost Exorcism. That sounds like you guys should go play Walk into the Murder House and see if you live. Like, that's what it sounded like you said. That doesn't sound like the name of a game. That sounds like the name of something you do when you don't want to live.
If you ever get the chance to play the game God Hand on PS2, it's so satisfying for a beat 'em up.
It sounds so familiar. Hold up.
Gary says, I like Pac-Man, Defender, Donkey Kong, and Space Invaders. I'm old. Well, yeah, Gary, you need to graduate past the Atari and the Super Nintendo.
Hey,
listen, I grew up on that shit too.
Don't talk about Super Nintendo now.
Yeah, ain't shit wrong with that.
Listen, I grew up on that too. Trust me.
Yeah,
I remember having the
a
Atari.
banger. I
Man,
feel like it's familiar.
Civilization the game.
Oh, I've actually never played that game. I wanted to, I just never did. Like, I actually downloaded it at one point. I think CW played that game a lot. Kyle, you still in here? What's Civilization like? If you're still chilling, I could be wrong.
I mean,
It, ki-
chips, man. I've never tried this dip before, and it's fucking good.
what?
Yeah, there he is. Kyle, don't you play this game? Haven't you played this game a bit? I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure like I see him on Discord though sometimes it says playing Civilization 5 or whatever the fuck.
It kind of reminds me of like a mixture between Risk and SimCity from the pictures I'm looking at. It like you build your
Yeah,
base and then you attack
that's
other
what I
bases.
got of it.
Damn, now I feel left out. Everybody's eating except for me.
I
Else got
got them
chips and dip.
Milano cookies, baby. These things are fire.
I've never tried this like Tostitos creamy spinach dip. This shit's the bomb. Like they were out of the regular like queso dip that I like, so Tom grabbed this for me. Fucking good.
That's what's up. That's always a benefit when you find something new when you're like, ah, fuck, I gotta get a secondary option. But then you end up liking it. Like, ugh.
I know.
Erland, you ain't ever getting a wrench back. I hate you.
I'll play that game.
I hate you, Erland.
It's a good one, Erlen, for sure.
Shut up, Namson.
Make me.
Wow.
I
Things are
can
getting
still talk. I'm in your head like fucking.
shit's getting hostile.
Fucking rent free, baby.
I'm sorry that I ruined your Galaxies of the Universe fucking conversation.
No, this is.
You
It
ended
all
up
ties. It really
there.
does.
No, but Hatter didn't want me up here. He was like, I wasn't planning on bringing anybody up because we're talking about fucking Galaxies of the Universe shit today.
No, I said I
we've
would bring
never
it up with Namson.
discussed. Yeah, he said
We've never discussed having other
guests.
people up.
Is
I'm
this like
always
the
down for some
podcast thing
shit.
you guys are doing now?
Yeah. Every week, baby. Every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Dude,
Be there or be square. Tell your
I've
mother and
you to do
grandmother
a
and
podcast with me for fucking months. I guess,
We kind of fell off the face of the earth. You stopped
Yeah.
talking to me there for a while because I knew
You
that
know
you had.
why? You know why?
Yes, I know. Why. Don't get pissy with me.
I wasn't pissy. That didn't mean to be pissy. I didn't. I
I'm
meant.
just explaining.
I
We
just meant
fell
to be
off the face of
forced.
the earth and stopped talking for like 2.5 months.
It wasn't that long, but a month.
December to the beginning of March.
Well,
January to the beginning of March.
it was from the first tournament to the second tournament, and you know why, dude. And
I know. And I'm just saying,
you
I
could have
gave you your space.
reached out and just been like, "Hey, I'm sorry everything went to shit, but I still love you."
I love both of y'all.
I love you, sure.
I love you when I get a Namson beanie, you prick.
See, the thing
Yeah.
is, stay mad at him. You can't even get mad to begin with. Like, who gets mad at Namson? Seriously.
You'd be surprised. I've definitely had some people angry at me, and it's funny because I'm always just like, "Why though? Like, what's wrong? Like, it's cool. Don't sweat it." And they're always like, I don't know. I feel like that makes them more flustered and more angry at me.
Nah, the Mad Hatter never spills tea.
No one's spilling tea here. There's no tea being spilled.
Yeah, Nick also offered me free merch.
I don't recall that. Don't how you better provide some evidence of this. I'm gonna need the receipts.
Nick, do you have an ex that you wanted taken care of?
Do I want to what now?
Did you have an ex that you wanted taken care of? Is that why you offered free merch?
Nah,
There you go. You got it.
nah. It was on stream. Hey man, my stream archives are up, baby. Go through them. Show me which one. Stop. Or show me which one, or stop the cap. Take your pick.
I'm gonna say I have all my streams up too.
All mine are up except for the ones that are blocked.
Yeah,
I love how they'll block an entire like 11-hour stream
it's
for
so stupid.
50
Why can't they duck
seconds.
the audio?
Yeah, I
literally?
go. Yeah, but what I do is I go through and I just trim that little piece out and then keep the stream up.
Oh, it takes so long doing it through the YouTube Studio Editor.
No, I don't do it through that because Ecamm automatically downloads it onto my computer. So I
Oh.
just put it in my editor. I clip that part out. I re-upload it, and then I take it off my computer so that way it's not taking up all that space.
Mm.
But then I have all my streams up.
Yeah,
Because,
like the
believe it or
YouTube
not,
Editor, you take
I'll
out like this much of a section, and it'll still take them 6 hours to fucking render your video again.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
look at it this way. Like, when you're doing the stream, you have like 20 views. And then if you keep it up, you end up with like 200, 300, 400 views because a lot of people come back and watch it afterwards. Especially if you have good music on there.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't do music on yours, though.
Sometimes it does.
Why do you think they get blocked?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm not used to.
Damn!
Dang, are you as zooted
Dude,
as
bro.
I am?
Oh my god. Chill.
Taking shots.
I didn't mean it like that, man.
I'm gonna have to pull a 50 Cent and drop a song called Many Men.
Oh.
Many
Did you
Mel's.
see my stream the other day?
Which
Somebody-
one?
This whole Many Men thing is coming up a lot, and it's kind of cracking me up. So, you know me and covers. Like, I'm a notorious non-cover supporter. But somebody requested the Merkham's cover remix of Many Men. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Somebody did a remix. Well, I know who Merkham's is, but I'm like, somebody did a remix of the best 50 Cent song that's ever been made. I'm like, no. Well, of course, half my stream like doesn't even know 50 Cent like that. Like, doesn't even know Many Men. Like, when they hear 50 Cent, all they know is In the Club and maybe Patiently Waiting, and that's it. And I can't let it ride like that. Like, they have to know the original song. I just can't let it go. I can't let it go that way. So I sat there and I made my whole stream listen to 50 Cent's Many Men and watch the video before I did Merkham's remix, which actually wasn't a bad remix. Have you heard it?
Mm-mm.
It's not.
No, I kind of stopped listening to Merkham's after that whole issue that dropped and things were brought up that didn't need to get brought up, that had no right being brought up.
I know.
But people got in their feels and said what they did.
But,
It is what it is.
if we did that with everyone, we wouldn't be listening to anyone on this channel.
That's
And
facts.
it's like everybody tells me I need to let it go when it comes to Dax. Like, everybody else is forgiving him. Why don't you? Why are you the one that's the holdout? Well, number one, I'm not the only holdout. But I was also there. I remember. Like, those were my friends he fucked over. Like, I remember what that fucker did. And I don't care how talented he is. Like, why? Okay. So, here we go. I'll spill a little bit of tea. So, Iz and I are on the phone one night, and we're talking about shit like that. And brought up the whole Dax conversation, and I'm like, I don't understand why people want me to react to Dax. I refuse to. It's the one thing I've said I'm not going to do. I will never react to him. Like, I don't forgive him. Like, he fucked over my friends, and he was a fucking asshole about it. And like, they put out like 4 different diss tracks on him, and good ones. Like Vinjay, Crip, like all of them put out like the best diss track videos on him. And the guy was he's an arrogant asshole, man. And no, I don't forgive him. And no, I'm not gonna do his videos. And he's like, and it is like, yeah, YouTube's weird like that. So then I don't know if you've heard Iz's new song,
Mm-mm.
but in it there's one line where he says he's like he says one line, he's like people, something like people on YouTube or YouTube rappers diss each other one day and are best friends with each other the next. Y'all are fucking weird or something like that.
It's
It
facts
wasn't
though.
that, but I was laughing my ass off. That's the point he made. But I know he meant it because of what I said about Dak.
That's so facts though. Like I can't stand that bullshit. Like if you don't like someone, just own it. Like don't like them. Don't be a fucking snake and try to make amends. Cause realistically, you
Exactly.
don't give a fuck about that person. You're never gonna give a fuck about them. Own that shit. You don't give a fuck about them, so don't give a fuck about them. Stay out of their business and like let them stay out of yours. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like,
you
and
don't have to fuck with everyone. Like simply put.
that's what I was trying to say to Iz. I'm like, and he completely agrees with me. I'm like, and because I brought up the point of another rapper that I know who got pissed off at at a reaction slash rapper that I know, and was completely fucking bullshit at him. Sat there and talked shit about him to me on IG for like an hour. And then that night was in his channel, up on his thing, like they were the best of friends. And I sent him a fucking IG message that said, so I guess you guys squashed it. And he's like, oh yeah, we're good. And I'm like, you're fucking weird. That's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like you fucking hated this guy yesterday and today. You spent an hour and a half today trashing his ass, and now you guys are the best of friends. Like that's just
It's like
fucking weird.
teenage girls.
It's like high school, man. I'm like, you don't like to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like the way it is for me. Like if I lose respect for you, like you don't have any integrity for, like you've proven to me you have no integrity, and I lose respect for you, I don't fuck with you anymore. Like that's just it. I don't fuck with you anymore. That's the way I grew up. That's the way it is for me to
I
this
feel that.
day in real life and on YouTube and everywhere else. So I, what he said, that line in the song made me laugh my ass off. It's on his newest song, but he's like, he called him out. He's like, y'all are fucking weird. Makes no fucking sense.
I look at it this way: I give everybody a chance until they personally do me wrong.
Right?
There's only been one person. This kind of goes back to your Dax thing because I was pissed off at Dax for a while too. He would drop music and I wouldn't even listen to it. I wouldn't do nothing. And his newest song that he just put out, "Dear Alcohol," that's a fucking banger. I just dropped my reaction to that today. But like, there's only one person on YouTube that's ever like come at me and attacked me. Soon to be two, but and I refuse to even acknowledge this individual. The only person that's ever made me write a diss track and record a diss track.
I remember that.
Uh-huh.
What do
Because
you
he
mean?
went after April J. Showers at the same time.
You said he went after April Peach, went after April Showers at the same time?
Hmm. Yeah, because he did a video exposing Crypt, and then we did a reaction on his diss to Crypt, and it was absolute dog shit. And we told him it was absolute dog shit. So then he came back and attacked me in April because we both basically had the same analogy or findings when it came to his diss track, and he came back and attacked us. So we both turned around and did diss tracks on him. Nimson's over there furiously looking. I've got to find this diss track.
Diss tracks. I have so many opinions about diss tracks these days.
Damn.
Diss tracks have lost all fucking value. They mean fucking nothing now. Like, it used to be like diss tracks are serious shit. Like, you didn't even think about dropping a diss track. And I have to say, like, real artists, like, I don't, okay, real artists. I didn't mean to say real artists. What I'm trying to say is, like, the OGs. The OGs. Like, they still put thought into whether they're going to drop a diss track or not. Whether they want to put shine on someone or not. How serious it's going to be, what they're going to say. You know what I mean? What personals they're going to put in there. Like, they still take diss tracks for what diss tracks are. But fucking, like, diss tracks hold no fucking weight. Do you know, I heard someone say in a reaction today, some fucking, like, 16-year-old kid fucking talking about diss tracks and said that diss tracks are wimpy, that there are some diss tracks that aren't classics, like that diss tracks in general are not classic albums and they don't stand the test of time. And he used Bully by Eminem as an example. I'm sorry. Bully by Eminem is probably one of the most classic fucking diss tracks ever.
Yeah.
How can you say Bully is not a fucking classic diss track?
This happened 12 years after Eminem was out of school, and the dude took Eminem to court over it and tried suing him for millions and millions of dollars. Like, that dude was fucking so butthurt. Yeah. Preparation H wasn't even going to help him.
I'm just saying, like, how do you... First of all, this kid wasn't even fucking a gleam. His fucking father probably wasn't even a gleam in his grandfather's eye when that fucking track came out. You know what I'm saying? And he's sitting there going, oh, well, you know, diss tracks are, they just...
He's got no respect for the culture. Like, that's all it is.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
It's where they grow up, what they listen to.
It's a reaction channel. And he's like, well, you know, diss tracks just can't be classic albums. And, you know, just listen to Bully by Eminem. And I'm like, dude, you just picked out one of the most classic fucking...
the way I see it.
Classic fucking...
Yeah, literally. That's
ever.
The way I see it, too, is, like, when you get into a music, it's so interesting to me. Like, hip-hop is one of the only genres that most people don't take the time to go back through. It's like when you get into a genre like rock or country, like, most people will take the time to go back and listen through all the old songs and all, like, the foundations of these, you know, evolution of genre, where people just don't do that in hip-hop. They just hear the new shit and they're like, all right, this is all I'm playing from now on.
I think that's what... I mean, I know that's one of the things that people have told me from the beginning of my channel is that they really appreciate my knowledge in music history, and not just rock. I have a vast knowledge in rock, but also hip hop and some country. But vast, because I have very eclectic taste in music, but you got to think, like, I'm older, so, like, I've been around since really hip hop took off. Right. And because I've lived all over the country, like, I was there on the West Coast when the West Coast kicked off, and I'm from the East Coast, so I'm very knowledgeable in East Coast hip hop as well. But then I'm also, like, I'm from a rock generation. Like, I have that knowledge from my mother and from me, what was played in my house. So you're right. Like people will go back and be and soak in the knowledge of rock if you're a rock person. And like, so I do have the knowledge of rock all the way back to friggin' Robert Johnson, you know? And like, that's as far back as you can really go when it comes to rock. Like the dude like invented the 6-string guitar. Like he's like the legend of the guy that met the devil at the fucking crossroads, you know what I mean? And when you go to hip hop, unless you're an old head like me, people don't go back to the like back like Southern hip hop in the dungeon and fucking, you know, East Coast hip hop and like it, like people just don't go back, and they need to because there's so much rich history there.
Kids these days ain't hearing Slick Rick.
story time. No, but you're right. Like they need to. They need to go back and it's they have no excuse because there are so many documentaries out there right now.
Yeah, that's facts.
That fucking just spell it all out. Like shit, just on Netflix, there's one. It's like an anthology where they add on to it each month, where you can go all the way back, and it'll take you all the way back to the very beginnings, Grandmaster Flash, all the way back to like where because, and this is the other thing that pisses me off. Like there's a difference between hip hop and rapping. Like hip hop is a culture. It's the dancing, it's the music, it's the clothing, it's the whole community, it's everything. Rapping
Right.
and emceeing are two totally different things. Like that's part of hip hop, but it's not what hip hop is. And like I grew up in hip hop, like dressing hip hop, dancing hip hop, fucking being in the hip hop culture. But what's weird is like I was living on the West Coast for like elementary school. Oh, okay, wait. First kindergarten, first and second grade, I was in Detroit, Michigan. Then I moved to California, and I was in California all the way up through junior high. So I was like all rock and roll all the way up through junior high. Then moved back to the East Coast. Then it was all hip hop for fucking like all fun. Then high school went back to rock again. But it was like I was so immersed in both of them that what ended up happening was I ended up with like a 50-50 love of both.
Right.
You know?
I feel that. And I think that's, yeah, what a lot of people are missing. I do actually have to wrap it up, though, because I got to take my dogs out. They still haven't been out in, like, since we started, so it's coming up on 5 hours.
Baby girl's got to go out.
Yeah.
You have the cutest dog, man. Like
They know it, too. They're both, like,
oh,
they work it. They make it happen.
oh, you're telling my life revolves around my dogs. Like everything, my schedule, everything I do, it's like my dogs.
Same. Literally same. That's, like, the main reason why I stopped working at my day job is to spend more time with them. Like,
I don't
because I
blame you.
know I can make money by being, like, self-employed to some degree or another. Like, why not spend more time with them? Like,
Exactly. Those are your kids, man.
yeah.
Well, I had fun hanging out with you.
I had a blast doing this stream. I think this was a very interesting one. I want to know more about this reading stuff. There's more that I gotta figure out about that for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll
We still
send you a
we
message.
still have to plan our trip to fucking
Yes. I'm trying to get a couple friends that have talked about that in on it to see if we can get like some sort of Groupon kind of thing. Like, because I know they do group rates as well.
They
if you have,
do.
like,
Like you can do like a
yeah.
group like of 6 or 7. I don't know. Like a group
Hey,
of
yo, Hatter. You trying to go to the
Handle it.
jungle and drink ayahuasca?
he can't
Listen,
but
you
man,
don't know how broke I am.
Bro, but that'll tell you how broke you are.
So well, the shutoff notices that I got.
I'm broke too, but I'll make the money. I'll find a way. But like, I don't think he could handle it, man. I don't think Hatter could handle it. Although I don't know with the
You hear
fucking
that, Hatter? She's calling you weak.
not weak, just
Shit happens.
not weak, just of poor constitution.
Damn. Savagery.
And this is why we have not met up. We were supposed to meet up around Christmas time. No.
Hatter's like, I don't want to meet her. She's just gonna bully me.
Stop it! I don't bully him. He knows I love him. He's like my brother, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, man.
I love that dude.
All right, so everybody, next week's topic is going to be about business. I know, boring topic. Woohoo! The Hatter picked it.
Oh yeah, I'm not coming to that one.
Business can be interesting. I'll make it interesting for y'all. Y'all better show up.
But I had to change my outro. A little quick disclaimer. You guys have had the floor long enough, so I'm going to take a 30-second spill here. Jason JV pointed out to me that my outro that I was using was word for word verbatim from Jerry Springer when he ended his shows.
Oh my god, what a guy. What a legend.
That's hysterical.
And he's like, you had to have noticed. I was like, I didn't have a fucking clue. I
That's
didn't put
fucking
two and
great.
two together.
That's
Because
so
I would literally go, Hatters, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Verbatim.
It sounded familiar.
Hey, that
man.
sounds kind of like mine. Mine's sort of like that, but it's not that exactly.
So I had to switch it up. So now you guys will be able to see the new outro. Namson, I will let you do yours first, since how you already have yours set up.
Don't fuck around. Don't be stupid. I love you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Namson's changing his up too. But anyways, this has been the Mad Hatter. Reminding all the Hatters, stay mad, and we will see you in the next one.
Ciao, Bella.
Deuces.